to the There we go. Hi, everybody. This is Christy Karate, and today I am going to share miracle stories because when we can feel miracles through other people, we kind of begin to realize we've been creating miracles ourselves. And one of the reasons I'm doing this work right now is I have been creating miracles my whole life, but I didn't really know the system or how I did that. And so I've been working with my mentor and coach, and she's helped me discover, decodify the miracle system. And therefore, I can have more deliberate choice of when I use it. And then I was talking with Miss Julia, who's on the call here today, and she said, "You need to take this to the world because this is so incredibly awesome." And so that is what I am doing today. And I am pulling up, and I have a couple of guests with me today. I have Julia, she's going to be one of my guests, as well as Melissa here. Many of you have heard me tell the miracle story of miracle baby Owen, who is now 8 years old. And she's going to share the story of Owen in just a minute. So I just had, I had this all. So I wanted to share with you the definition of miracles so that you can kind of get a sense of where we're going. Okay, so here's the first one. I Googled it, right? It says a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency. Now, what's happening in our world is we have, like through quantum physics and other things, we have realized that, science and spirituality have been merging, and we are able to now choose to use the universal laws in a way that serves not only us, but the world. And I'm going to give you a little gift here today, which is going to help you decide if your vision, your life purpose, or your life design, as I call it when I do my intuitive wisdom drawing sessions, is worthy of you. Now, I didn't say, are you worthy of your vision? I said, is your vision worthy of you? Because guess what? You are going to be putting the time and energy into this, and you have to want that. You have to be willing to use the law of sacrifice, one of my favorites, which is let go of the lesser in order to experience the greater. And so you're going to really want to have this vision be worthy of you. And so in this whole idea of us now accelerating the combination of science and spirituality, I have been able to see, and many people have been able to see many different things, but I took my ability to create miracles and have discovered the system that I have been using all these years. And now I am practicing, along with all of you, putting it into my everyday life because I thought this was just for special things. And I'm going to tell you about some of those, and my guests are going to tell you about their experiences with miracles as well. And by the end of this, I want you to know your miracles and to have some tools to be able to move forward in this practice. Okay, so my first story, because today's about storytelling. Storytelling is a very powerful tool, and I am actually a very good storyteller. I've been that way since I was a child, and sometimes it wasn't for the best reasons, right? But so today, what I'm going to first story I'm going to start with, and many of you have heard this, and when I told Melissa I was telling this story, she says, "Oh, I love that story." So that tells you, and I've known Melissa for probably 15 years. So she was a youth in the camp programs that I used to run. And she's been my girl ever since, and she always loves sitting on my lap, even to this day. So this story is about when I chose, and this is a key component of manifesting miracles, I chose to go to a particular university for my graduate art program. Now, this program was Claremont Graduate School. Now it's called Claremont Graduate University. It's a private school. And at the time I went, it was $30,000 a semester to go to this school. Now, I had no job, I had no money, I had no savings, I had no family support. There was no reason that I should be able to go and do this. But I applied and I got accepted, and I did everything that I could do to make this happen. Now, this comes from a teaching that I use a lot in my work called The Invisible Power. And it's a book that was written in the 1910, 1920, something like this. And it's about this woman who had a big dream like this. And she said, one of the key things she said was, leave no stone unturned. And so that is the action that you put in place in order to create the vision. And so I applied for all financial aid. I applied for all scholarships. I went out and got a simple little job at a restaurant there where I was serving breakfast with an Italian couple that they really were Italian. They would scream in the mornings like Italians. Now my husband's Italian, he doesn't scream, but it was, so I did everything possible. I even took the director of the program out to lunch and introduced myself personally. And I looked at him. I remember looking at him and saying, did you just always know, like, have something inside of you that you always knew you'd be successful? And he goes, yeah, la 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 la. And then he goes, and he sat up and just became Mr. Normal, right? So I did everything. I got a room in a house, and it was a very bad situation. And so I actually, once we got into school, I I was on a payment plan, right? And once we got into school, we had our own individual studios there. And so I um, moved out of that bad situation and illegally moved into my studio. And every time the fire alarm would come on or something like that, I'd have to be dressed and up like I was working in my studio, So, I mean, this was like I was eating ramen noodles, right? 33 cents a package for ramen noodles. And I was struggling. But I knew to the very depths of my being that this was where I was supposed to be. And I got a $1,500 scholarship, and I was involved with a youth program at a church. And on that Sunday after I got that scholarship, I tithed $150. I knew that I was grateful. Not that I had to, but that I was grateful for that $150. And I put it in the offering basket like a jester saying, okay, universe, now let's see you give me back tenfold, right? But I didn't do it to get the tenfold. I did it to be in gratitude, but I knew the power of the law and how the universal principles work. And so I knew it would give me back tenfold back, right? So I tithed and I went about my business, doing everything, leaving no stone unturned. And 3 days later, I got a letter from the college, from the art department of Claremont Graduate School. It says, due to the recommendation of the art faculty at Claremont Graduate School, you have been awarded a $150,000 grant. This was way more than 10%. And I knew it was because the universe loved my humor, right? And do this, right? And so I did complete my 2 years there, and I come out with some student loans and some debts. And within 6 years, I had all of my student debts paid for and done. and out in the world. Now, what is the principle behind this is to know truth regardless of appearance. Know truth regardless of appearance. Now, what is truth? Truth is divine principle. Truth is that we were sent here with everything we need to complete our life purpose here, to serve what I call to serve the divine. And everything that we need is around us. Now, we hear so many things around us, like, fear right now. Fear is a popular thought, to be in fear now because of the way that our world is going and things like that. That is the appearance. That is not the truth. The truth is that we are divine in each and every moment. We are abundant. All of the abundance we need is available to us each and every moment. And the only thing that stops us is our belief in beliefs that are not true. So that's why we're sharing miracle stories today. So, as I mentioned, Melissa is here with us today. She is the mom of the miracle baby, and she's going to share her story about how that came about, and we'll have a little conversation about that as well. So, first of all, I'm going to share screen, not remove. Oh, I did that wrong. Me and technology. Let me check one thing on my internet. Sometimes I get, yep. Fine, I had to stabilize my internet. Okay, so view. Julia, can you put Melissa and I side by side? I just forgot how to do it. There's Melissa. You're up on the screen here. There we go. There we go. Okay, now unmute yourself, my dear.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, fabulous. I'm gonna show a picture first of her little family.
If you
Yeah.
wouldn't mind really quick, I noticed that I'm at like 22% power, so I'm gonna grab my battery charger so I don't
Okay, that's
cut
fine.
out. Okay.
Go ahead, mute yourself, and then unmute when there's Owen now at 8 years old. Here he is at as a baby. Look at this little darling kid here, and this is her older son. And I'll start sharing a little bit of her story. So she continued after we were in the camp programs working with me, and I always wanted to support her. And she had a son, a beautiful little son over here, and she really wanted to have a second child. And she kept struggling, and and losing the pregnancies and or not getting pregnant. And I'm gonna wait for her to come back. Hey, Owen, can you unmute? Do you know how to unmute? We'll just hear from Owen a little bit. Yeah, hi, Owen. So, tell us how old you are now.
I'm 8.
You're 8, yes. And where do you?
8 in July 11th.
July 11th. Yay. And how I told him to unmute Melissa. And what's your favorite thing to do? Do you like sports or art or what?
I like art.
A lot.
Sometimes I play sports. I normally play soccer.
Mhm.
And most of the time I just sit down and play video games.
Like all of our kids these days, but you like art. I love that because ask your mama to show you some of my art because I'm an artist as well.
Wait, I want to go show him.
A little diversion here.
Yeah, he's really big into art, actually.
Oh, great. Well, let's see something of his.
All right.
I got more, but they're not in the case right now.
Well, why don't you just get the Maverick picture? That's on the fridge.
So Melissa, what I did was I shared a little bit about leading up to how you had always been working with me, and then you had wanted to have a child, and things kept going astray for various reasons. Okay, you want to pick up from there?
Yes. First of all, I wanted to say that it's been more like 30 years. Like, can we say like 13, right? Around 13? It was even no, it was 11.
You were 13. Oh, you were 11.
I was 11. I have a picture
Okay.
of you and me when I was 11. But anyways, that puts us
Okay.
above 30 years. I'm 44, Christy. Thank you though for the compliment.
You're always my little girl, so
I will always sit on your lap.
yes.
Um,
Okay, I'm gonna unspotlight me, and I'm now gonna let you
the end. Do it at the end, honey.
oh,
Okay. Why don't you just work on something now?
okay.
Drawing.
No, I want to just show my multiple times.
Yeah, in just a minute, okay, Owen?
Yeah, let me do it first. Okay, don't worry about it.
Okay.
So hi everybody. I had my first kid. I have to do the math backwards, about 17 years ago. And my husband and I decided we wanted to try for a second. I really, really wanted to have two, just like my sister and I. And Ellen, just stop for a minute. Hi.
I always remind her this is the miracle she asked for.
I sometimes need reminding. A lot of, I think I had 3 or 4 miscarriages, and I'm sure, as you guys know, it's absolutely heartbreaking and devastating. And I think on like our last try, I'd gotten a very strong positive on a pregnancy test. And within 6 weeks, I had started losing that pregnancy. I went to the doctor a few days later, and they did an ultrasound and said, "I'm so sorry. Yes, you're losing the pregnancy again. Let's just keep trying, and we'll work towards, getting you pregnant." They prescribed the pill. I think it's a pill that like you take, and it helps your body clean out so that you don't have to have a DNC or anything. And went home and just kind of sat with that, cried, laughed, punched some things, pillows. And I had been in with Christy's work, and we were in the middle of a pretty intense class. I want to say it was Dream Builder. And it was the part about intuition and learning to recognize your inner voice and your intuition. And I just kind of decided that I trusted my body. Okay, thank you. I trusted my body, and I wasn't going to take that pill. I was going to let my body do what it needed to do. So a month passes, I think 2 months pass, and I go back to the doctor to make sure I'm ready to start trying again. And I actually had Logan, my older one, with me, and went in for the ultrasound, and the look on the doctors and nurses' faces was priceless, to say the least. I had miscarried one twin, and the other twin was safe, but hadn't been visible in the beginning. This twin had been a lot higher up, and the one that I lost was lower. So had I functioned from a place of non-intuition, I probably would have taken the pill and aborted my miracle. And I felt like everything was just so meant to be. It couldn't have been any more perfect. So I was on bed rest, and I had my pregnancy. And I still to this day get chills when I talk about it.
Hmm.
If I had not been in this work, I don't think I would have this guy here. That's my miracle.
Absolutely. So, Julia, can you put us up together again? I don't, you're going to have to remind me how to do it. I just got off vacation, by the way, last night. So,
Oh,
coming back to the technological world. So, what she said to me when this all happened, she goes, Christy, for the first time, I believed in myself instead
mhm.
of the doctors.
Yes.
And it is the power of this is a miracle. And as I said, it's in the definition, a surprise and welcome event that is not explicable by nature or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of the divine agency. And what we know now is that the divine agency always is available to us, and it brings us our greatest heart's desire. And the only thing that's in the way is our own thoughts, our thought forms. And so, Melissa, we love Owen. And does he have his drawing ready to show us?
He
No.
wants to show you his
Instead of
expensive
markers.
pens.
Oh, okay.
Okay, unzip them.
Oh,
And
I know those pins. Those are
do you?
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
he loves
Hulu, hoo-hoo, right?
hoo-hoo.
Oh, mine are called, I know, isn't that a weird, but
I'm like, that sounds like a, never mind.
I know. Oh, and look at that. What magical markers, right?
They're
Those are
used daily.
Great.
I do shadings a lot. Melissa?
Fabulous.
Um,
Great.
can I add one more thing I wanted
Of
to say?
course. Of
Okay.
course.
So in that 2-month period where I thought I had miscarried, my husband and I, we went to a concert and it was neat. We were driving and listening to some really good music, and I kept getting this like virtual knock on the door that I'm here, I'm still here. And I would go to drink like a beer at the concert, and I'm like, no, I just no, I just didn't want it. And I'd be doing something, I'd be in the shower or taking a walk, and I'd get that virtual knock on the door.
Me?
Yeah, you.
You.
Yeah. And it was really, really neat because it was definitely an intuitive moment for me. And it was, I just love that story. I'm sorry, I'm kind of being bragging, but I just love my story.
No, it's absolutely wonderful. And look at
But
what,
yeah, had I not trusted my body, which again, that was like the first time, had I not trusted my body and myself, I would have absolutely taken that pill.
yes, yes.
Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you, Melissa.
There was like
What?
Okay.
Go ahead. Finish
so
up.
there was like an 80% chance that you want to take the pill, and there was maybe a 20% chance that she didn't, and that 20% chance took over.
Yeah.
I'm here now.
And you're here now. Yes. We love you, Miracle Baby Owen, who's not a
You're like a little
baby
guru.
anymore.
No.
Yes. Thank you so much, you guys. You can stay as long as you like. I know, Melissa, that you have some things going on, but
I need to be here.
yeah, great. I love that you're here. Thank you. Okay, so I am going to share another miracle story that happened with another young woman who I don't even know where she is anymore, but this actually took place before I even knew Melissa. So it was before I even did this work or this study. But there was something inside of me, and part of it is that I grew up with a grandmother that was very metaphysical. And so I always thought this kind of work was normal until I went off to middle school, and of course they all thought I was weird, right? And then I bought into it, right? That's what we do. We have people convince us that we are not divine. That is what happens in our world all the time. And we need to know each and every moment that we are divine. Now, before I tell the story, I'm experiencing some physical issues right now. And as we went to Utah, we were just going to the national parks and various things. I noticed how I kept buying into the pain, which is an awareness. But the thing is we don't want to say what caused that. We want to say what are the next steps that we can take to regain that wholeness of being divine. And then, like Melissa said, follow our intuition. And anything that crosses the threshold of our thinking, like Thoreau said, stand guard at the portal of your mind, right? Don't let anything pass that you don't want to create. And I caught myself so many times being disappointed that I couldn't do the hikes that everybody else did and things like that. But what I did instead was my favorite thing to do, which Owen likes to do, is to do artwork and to draw. And I took a camp chair and I sat up and I was out in the beautiful environment and I did some amazing drawings myself. So this happened, though, before I ever understood what was happening. I just knew the world worked this way, even though other people didn't think it was. So I met this young girl, and she was a senior in high school. And we were chatting, and she says, "Oh, I would really love to go to Hawaii for my graduation." And I said, "Well, go." And she says, "Oh, my mom is a single mom. We don't have a lot of money. I would never ask her. She is, she's just doing everything she can to get me through high school." And I said, "Where's your dad?" And she said, "I haven't seen him in like 5 or 6 years." And so I said, "Well, none of that matters because we don't need to know the how," which is really true, right? Think about it. We don't need to know the how. We need to know what that divine desire is within us and how we bring that to the surface, overcoming anything that is a vibrational low frequency, like I can't, or like I'm in physical pain, or I'm in la 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 la. Right? Now, that doesn't mean that you go out and spend money you don't have. It doesn't mean that you do things that you're not at the moment physically able to, but you begin to connect with wholeness. And wholeness is divine perfection, right? So I told this young woman, I said, "Well, just plan on going to Hawaii." And it was at a time when you could book your flights and they would hold them for 3 days or so. So I told her, book your flight to Hawaii, find the hotel you want to stay in, and, just act as if you're going. And she said, I talked to her and she said, "Oh yeah, I've been telling my friends, they're starting to get on board too. They're going to go." And I said, "Keep going, keep going." And then I connected with her again and she goes, "Oh my gosh, Christy, I'm going to Hawaii for my graduation." And I said, "How did that happen?" And she said, "Because I booked my tickets. I knew I was going. I didn't know how. And out of the blue, my father from 5 years, I haven't talked to him, called and said, 'Honey, you're graduating. What can I give you?'" Now, if she would not have been holding that vision, if Melissa would not have been holding the vision of having this child, then she would have taken the medicine. If this girl hadn't have been holding the vision, she probably would have told her dad, "Oh, a prom dress and some new shoes." But instead, she had that vision there and she said, "I want to go to Hawaii. He called within that 3 days too of the plane ticket reservation, right? "I want to go to Hawaii. I've already booked my hotel and my room." Done. She went to Hawaii. So there are so many things that can get in our way. There's actually only one thing that can get in our way, but it can show up many different ways. And that is our thinking. That is our belief, right, Brenda? That is our belief in something we probably learned from somebody else. So that is my second story. The next story that I wanted to give you a tool now. And that is that you remember we talked about your dream being worthy of you. But if you want to check things out, I'm thinking here at the same time. Okay, so I can go to this one and I can go from my computer. So this is a tool that I use all the time, and it's called 5 Questions. Um, I mean, we could give it a, more sexy name, but anyway, here is, I'm putting this in the chat for you, and I'm also going to share it on my screen and show you, because yes, stories are good, but we need to take action. So here's a great way to see if your dream is worthy of you. Now let's see, yeah. Okay, so these are 5 questions to test your dream, and you can also use it for any discussion. Now, you guys seeing that there? Are you able to download it? Shake your head, yes? Okay, great. So the first one is, does it give me more life? Just like with Melissa and this young woman, that wasn't just a trip to Hawaii. That was a understanding of the ability that she had to create miracles in her life, right? And so does that give me more life? Yes. Does it align with my core values? This is really important, because a lot of times we think we want something. This is where, be careful what you wish for, you'll get it. You want to make sure it aligns with your core values. Now, you may need to do some discovery around what those core values are. Mine is kindness, honesty, and family. And so I can measure everything towards, does this bring harm to my family? Sometimes I want to go off and do something, go off and play with my girlfriends or something. And sometimes that's a good thing to do. It's okay. It's not incongruent to being with my family, but sometimes it is, right? So does it align with your core values? Does it cause you to grow? Now, we live in an expanding universe. It expands, and that means we are here to create, to expand ourselves in everything that we do. So if you already know how to do it, it's probably not your greatest vision and purpose in life. And so, does it cause me to grow? Does it require help from a higher power? Now, the miracle manifestation system absolutely does require, whatever your understanding is, whatever your language is, it does require help from a higher power. And then, does it have good in it for others? And that also goes to, does it bring harm to anyone? So for the good of all and to the harm of no one. Okay, and so you can download this, you can have this template. This is my gift to you. And you can measure it not only against your life vision, but a decision that you might make. Like I said, should I go on vacation? A girlfriend who's now working with me on my events trips and so forth, she went with us to Kanab and Utah, which is where we went. And we were putting together a retreat we're going to do next year, but it was also my family vacation. Well, she fell so in love with Kanab that she has decided to go for 4 weeks and stay there. And I'm just like going, oh my gosh, I want to go too. And then I go, but it's not mine to do right now, because my family would miss me if I was gone for 4 weeks, right? Sometimes it might be a good decision to make. So use this to make it. So I look at this and I said, does it align with my core values? No, family is my first priority, right? So this is something you can do on any decision, small or large, or your life design. Okay. Now, next, what I have is my one of my BFFs here, Julia, and go ahead and put yourself up with me on the screen. And I think and yeah, you're unmuted. And what I love about Julia is she is a manifester already. She knows about this work, but we had a great experience of my assisting her in creating a miracle in her life, and it's right behind her. Well, one of them is, and you want to go ahead
like my new living room?
Yes, it's so tidy and white.
I know. It's a miracle. That's the miracle.
Right.
I just go like this, and suddenly I have a very fancy living room.
So you can go ahead and just remove me and
remove you, huh?
Well, from the screen. Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Hi. I'm using my little virtual thing here so that you can see my painting behind me. But shall I just go ahead and tell my little tale, my
Yes,
sad tale of
yes,
woe?
ma'am. Opposite of sad tale of woe.
Well,
Yes,
yes.
go ahead. It starts with sad
It
tale of
starts
woe.
with a tale of woe because I've been a graphic designer for 40 years and always had it in the back of my mind that one day when I'm old and purple haired, that I would be one of those old purple haired ladies at the festivals that sell those bad paintings. But it would be fun, I had zero confidence that I would be a good painter for one. And I I noticed that even though I would take certain actions toward possibly having a place to paint, for instance, having a table, purchasing a table, that I still wasn't doing it. And I was still putting it off. And inside my head, it said, if you have time to do anything, you have to work. Because I have my own business. I create websites and branding for creatives, healers, and coaches. And, there's always some more to do. And so it would say, well, you can't paint, you have to work. And that, meanwhile, Christy kept whispering in my ear, come, let me first she was like, let me come over and we'll, christen your new drawing table. But then she said, let's go to my studio. So she invited me to the studio. And what I think the miracle, maybe the part of the beginning of the miracle part was that Christy created a space where I wasn't concerned about the artwork I was creating, but I was just creating. So this was a sort of a magical place where my inner voice that was saying, well, you can't do this, was silenced. And so actually we did that several times. And it just sort of broke me through my resistance to doing it at all. Then I started painting on a regular basis. And, after the breakthrough, it was really clear to me that just some things that had been told me at art school and stuff, like maybe you shouldn't be a painter by my painting teacher, was what you're a graphic designer, something like that, like, oh, no wonder you can't paint, kind of thing. How about, this is my first day at painting class in the history of my life, and how about I'm a beginner? But sometimes there's things that just get stuck in our craw at a young age, and it might even be like this for Melissa, where you have to listen to what the doctor says, even if your inner gut is saying like, no, I can't do, So that's a scary thing to go against the thing that you know to be true, but it's not, it's just your story. So yeah, that was 6 years ago, I think. I don't know. Was it that long? I don't know. 5 years maybe.
It's
And
been it's been a lot of wonderful. Let me add a little something in here to the
mhm.
story, which is that I saw Julia speak at a business event. She was talking about websites, and I looked at Julia and I said, I'm gonna make her my friend. I wanted her to be my friend, and she was tough. She was a tough cookie to
It's a
crack,
tough cookie.
Yeah.
I don't really go out,
Yeah. And we became fast friends. And, she came into the studio. And one of the things I pride myself in is really creating a safe environment, whether it's doing the transformational work or whether it's doing helping people move through their blocks about creativity. It's actually a tool for the bigger breakthroughs. And
Hmm.
so it was really wonderful and she was my friend and I wanted to play with her. And
Yeah.
playing with her was making art together.
Well, here's one of my pieces. This is I call this Russian River Flight. This is where the Russian River meets the ocean up in Jenner, where I got married actually. I my aunt taught me that you can always take a town out or something like that. There's
Hmm.
Jenner, but I just my aunt was a painter too, and she said, you can, if you don't like that house in that picture, you can just paint it out. Like, okay.
Yes,
It's like a
absolutely.
miracle.
It's a
But
miracle.
I even have uh my own website. Here's another one.
Hmm. Put your website in the chat so people can go and look at your artwork.
All right.
And
This is
then
also the coast. Here's another one. I will. I'll put it in the chat.
and then talk about what happened next with us.
Uh-oh. You mean what?
Working
That we
with your
started teaching? Oh,
yes.
well, that's the thing. So I started realizing that I have people that I help with, to create their self-expression, their through their marketing. And I started realizing that my people also have these creativity blocks like I do. And so we decided to create a creativity workshop and help my clients to have breakthroughs on their creative expression. So we got all my clients coloring.
Mhm.
We
We
the
started with
coloring
watercolor and then we did coloring. Yep, yep, yep.
and we mix it all into manifesting because the universal law of creativity and vibration, um and abundance, I mean attraction and vibration. I don't know, I said there's 12 of them, but like
Mhm.
these come together to manifest miracles. It's not just that I'm creating painting. I mean, that's almost enough, right? It's enough, it's more than enough, right? Because I wasn't painting or making any art at all, really, except for my client. Um, but it's also an opening to divine guidance.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so other things have gotten better. That was the beginning, but I was also started doing singing in public, which that also wasn't going to happen. But I started doing plays and even repertoires and singing in public. So, and realizing that creativity is is like a spiritual path.
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
and it impacts everything. So it's my business has gotten better. Just because I spend time doing creative stuff doesn't mean my business is going to go down. No, because there's visibility in showing this, and people are like, oh my God, you're an artist and a designer too, and so people who want more of an artistic approach are going to appreciate the time that I spend developing my artistic abilities.
Yeah,
So it
absolutely.
all kind of works out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So we have about 10 minutes left, and I know that, oops, I know that, yeah, you're still there. Okay. I know that Brenda also has miracle of when she was coming into doing the work with me. She has actually published a book. Brenda, just take a quick minute and share what evolved for you from the work that we did and where you at with that.
Thank you,
Can you
Christy.
spotlight her for me?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Nope.
Do you want to be
That's
spotlighted too,
Susan.
Christy?
No, that's
Not particularly.
Brenda. Go to Brenda,
Oh,
not
I'm
Susan.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Hi,
I don't
Susan.
know how that happened.
Our miracle, Susan, is that she and I just met up in person for the first time in Utah yesterday. That's how soon I am back from vacation. Okay, Brenda, just take a minute and share where you're at. What evolved for you?
Well, when I took Christy's class, my higher power had been telling me that I need to get my photographs and positive thoughts out into the world. And so I've created a book. I call it a focus journal. And each chapter is a word like honesty or faith or hope. And the person walks through with writing prompts on getting to know, self-reflecting, either on a photograph, a quote, my photographs, a quote, and it's coming out in the next month.
Yay! Congratulations!
Thanks to Christy, to all of the help that the people in the group have given me, and other people that I met through Christy, and other people that I'm now meeting through other people and attending meetings like this. It's just, it's a miracle, because I never thought I would publish a book in my mid-70s. What are you thinking of?
I remember at the beginning you kept saying that. Things like, I'm 70. Do I have to? There was almost like, do I have to? It's like, no, you don't have to. What would you love? And then she'd say, I would love to do this. And here she is. Congratulations.
Yep.
Did you put your link to your book in? Do you have one yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so go
We're
ahead
in the process.
go ahead and put your email in there, and then people can let you know that they're interested. And so,
and the book is called Discovery is Recovery: Brain, Emotion, Spirit, Self-Reflection Through Creative Process.
there we go. Fabulous. So I want to check in. I have two more things. One is I want to share with you a call to action and see if this resonates with you. And then I'm going to tell my big $200,000 miracle after that. So, Mary, do you want to share any, now that you've been hearing this, do you hear or sense, share a miracle that you've had in your life? And could you, let's see, let me spotlight her. I think I can do this. Where'd she go? There she is. Spotlight for everyone. There we go. Okay. Hi, Mary.
Hi. I am a creative, a facilitator. I've been all my life. I haven't thought in the terms of miracles. Exactly. But I do have a miracle grandson who cannot be alive, who is at 17 years of age, just placed internationally in race car driving. He would have been a blue baby. The doctors and their fabulous hearts did 3 open heart surgeries. And this may be the miracle. A doctor, a friend of mine, said, think about him going to college. Just picture him going to college, which I have. Yes. Whether he will go to college or he will stay on the track racing, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I think the idea, the picture of what that's going to be with his parents and everything has been wonderful for me to see. But I have a whole army of prayer warriors have prayed for him for a very long time. Yeah. So I am seeing a miracle. And my other miracle, my husband died in 6 days, and you can see my life facts book back there. It is a gift to everyone who to have all their facts in order. So when it happens, they know they've got it. It's all there, accessible, safe, and secure. That in itself was a miracle. I never expected to be an author, but I had over 41 people say this is something that's important to do.
Absolutely.
they
Would you put that in the chat for us as well?
Sure, I can give you in a brand new website too.
Oh,
So
fabulous.
yes,
Okay, let's
I
go
will
to
be glad to do that. Thank
let's
you.
go to yes, thank you. So Susan, let's go to you. I'm sure that you can see you have miracles that you have created in your life. One of them's having me in your life.
I wouldn't argue with that. So, it's really okay. I'm I'm an enormously fortunate person. And when I can get out of my own way,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
it's really good. I've been having a lot of physical challenges, and I think I have finally eliminated the last toxic person from my life. which is huge, because this is someone that's been a, a thorn, that constantly,
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
and
Fabulous.
they they have eliminated themselves. So
Okay.
I'm really kind of happy about that. I'm really looking forward now to creating miracles in my life, because I know that I have to do the footwork and stay out of the results.
Yes.
And that's what it's about. I've learned that. Um, I
Yeah.
get to see my recovery in a lot of different ways,
Yeah.
in terms of of trauma, of addiction. I'm an intuitive copywriter. I I do service work. I'm a down and dirty guerrilla marketer.
So,
I'm a former stand-up comic and
yes, I was
actress,
gonna say
and
she was a
um,
comic in Hollywood, and she's just got a great sense of humor, and she's doing a lot of copywriting, and we'll get our partnership back together eventually, and so why don't you go ahead and put your contact information in the chat? Um,
okay,
I want to. I'm gonna run a few minutes over because I want to share with you. Go ahead and mute yourself, my dear, and
okay,
uh, I want to share with you the $200,000 story, but first I want to share with you what my work in the world is to help people discover their wholeness, and this idea of understanding the miracle manifesting system is part of that work. And so I know several of you here are already going to be in the course. It actually starts next Wednesday, October 26th. It's an 8-week course, and it is recorded. So if you have to miss a session, you can always get it, through the recording. But this is the system that I discovered, and there's 7 steps. So the first week's going to be introductory, and then not only are we going to go into the process, but we're going to actually practice on the call as well of you creating this. Now, a lot of people know that vision is the first step, but what I discovered in this process is we have to go deeper than just seeing the vision on a vision board or something like that. And so we're going to go deeper into what is it that we really have to do during the vision process. The next is sparkle, and that is like living from the joy of that being your every thought and deed and action working towards that. And then we will be unlocking what's stopping you, and it will go into what you get with this, because I decided to throw everything I had into this, right? And I do intuitive wisdom drawings, which really help you see where you're blocked and how to move through that. And then to really get the sense of that you are the divine in expression. And we will go into that in a way that you probably have never delved into during that. And then to speak truth. Now, I can say this to all of you because, this is actually hidden in here is the 7 chakras, starting at the bottom. And the truth is the throat chakra, right? And it's like, how do you not let anything cross your thoughts or your mouth that is going to contradict that truth that you are connecting with? And then serve. How do you move forward? How do you serve? When you serve the vision, when you do the action steps, you are taking the steps that are notifying the universe that this is the person who you are, and then everything rushes in. And then how do you do it? And that's like the call with the girl in Fullerton. It's like you just act as if, right? So also some special guests will be coming on that. Julia will be one of them. A couple other very I would call them high vibrational people that know this type of work will be a guest during the course of this. But also, I wanted to show you what I'm going to, like I said, I just wanted to throw everything in. I will send you a signed copy of my book. You will get weekly handouts. You will get 2 private intuitive wisdom drawing sessions with me. That's a value of $500. I charge $250 a session for that. And then I have a monthly mastermind called Time, Money, Freedom. You get free attendance to that for a year. And then every Friday I do a Christie's Clarity, and you'll be getting the emails for that. And the discount on trips and retreats. And I do have a trip going to Italy in April. So this is my offering. I'm going to put the link in the box. 11:15. My husband's checking on me. He's home for Fridays now. This is part of his working into retirement. So he's home to watch me. I have an appointment at 11:15. So okay, so let me find my information, and as I do, and put this in the chat. Oh, so this is a value of over $997. That's what I normally would choose this for. Right now I am doing a special that's making it $357 for people, which you are welcome to share with people. But because you came here today, and if you haven't signed up for this course, I'm going to put this offer for you to take the 8-week course for $222, just because I want everybody to do this. So I'm putting this offer in the chat, and I'm going to tell you so you're welcome to use the code for it's called Miracle 222 to join the course that's starting next week. If you want to share it with anybody else, please do, but their price is $357, which is still an amazing bargain for everything that they get. So the $200,000 story, and then we'll end this call. So we have a house in Santa Rosa, California. We have a huge backyard, and we've always talked about maybe putting an income stream of a granny unit. It's actually called the ADU is the correct term for it, right? So we always thought about doing it. We had the room to do it and everything, and just nothing quite got us there until my son decided to get married. And his beloved came here and lived with us before they got married. And that was the motivation. This is the sparkle, right? This was the sparkle that activated us moving forward. Now, my husband kept saying, where are we going to get the money? Where are we going to get the money? I said, I don't know, but I know we're doing this. I don't know, but I know we're doing this. Now, I didn't I actually did go to my sister. I said, do you want to invest? She says, no, but I'll give you the money to get started and you can pay me back. And she gave me $15,000 to get started. So I got the architect to go to work on the permits and the drawings and all of this. And my husband still kept saying, where are we going to get the money? Oh, we have the wrong person highlighted here. Sorry, not the wrong person, but let me change this spotlight. There we go.
Are spotlighted.
There we go. Oh, well, I was seeing Susan, so I don't know what. So anyway, so we just kept moving forward, and we found the contractor, and we didn't say go yet, to the next step because we didn't have the money, but we knew we were moving forward. I knew we were moving forward. I checked everything. I checked about refinancing our house. I checked about, seeing if any of my family members wanted to invest. And I checked with a short-term money lender, and he could lend us the money, but we had to pay everything back within a year or he would get our property, right? And so that was a scary thought, but we had that as backup. And so I just kept going, no, I know the higher power this is a divine idea. So Jerry's brother calls him up. My husband's brother calls him up and says, have you ever felt like you won the lotto? Well, guess what? Out of the blue, we have been given $400,000 from Prudential for a life insurance policy, and it's for both of us, so we're splitting it. The unit cost $150,000 to build. Out of the blue. Yes, exactly. And why did that happen? Because the faith did not waver. I didn't know how. We don't need to know how. We need to ask those 5 questions and make sure that there's no harm towards anybody, that it causes you to grow. And this was the miracle, the manifested miracle that caused me to go to my coach and say, how come I only do that in big projects or big, what about my everyday life? Why didn't I have the money already in my bank account? And it was like, well, to be able to decipher that system and then bring it to everyone. And so I hope that you are willing to join me in this class and discover a deeper dive in that. You can always reach out to me at Christy at Mastering the Art of Life, and we can set up a time to chat if you're not sure. You're welcome to share this with other people. You will get a recording of this call. You can just send it on to them. If they start a week late, they will get the first recording, and I'll probably have an individual conversation. Those that are in the class are already signing up for the Intuitive Wisdom drawings, because we will start with a life design, and then we will work on what's in the way through these drawings, which are absolutely amazing. So I got to run because I have another appointment, and hope that you have that even if you don't continue in this work with me, I have lots of offerings out there, and you can always learn from that. And I look forward to future encounters with you. Be sure and save the chat. You do that with the little 3 buttons there to the right in the chat, so that you have everybody's contact, so you can find out about Susan's book and Mary's book and Julia's artwork and Susan's wonderful copywriting. So love having you all here. Thanks for being here. And yes,
10
Melissa.
seconds. He's been waiting so patiently.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Let's wait, hold on. Let's spotlight you. Let me get you spotlighted. Where'd you go? Hold on. Unmute yourself. Unmute. Okay. Unmute, Melissa. Owen knows how to do it. Usually I can say ask to unmute, but I
got it.
there we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Owen, you got 1 minute. Go.
1 minute. Go.
And I kind of drew like a half eye.
Okay.
In the vessels, I didn't do the best. I can do better than this. But I've tried as much as I can. I ran out of black.
That is awesome.
That is amazing. What an artist. Fabulous.
Wow.
Eyes are not easy. We know that, right, Julia? Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I ran out of black a long time ago.
It's okay. We'll get you more black.
Yeah. Fabulous. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Love
you.
you all. Thank
Love
you.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye.